Ever since I started my YouTube, people have often mentioned to me that they've thought of making a YouTube themselves. They then add that they don't know what to make content about. Hey, it's John Bear, so happy to see your beautiful face, and in this video I'm gonna attempt to answer the question of what to make content about online. So if you're somebody who's thought about making a YouTube channel sometime before in the past, maybe I have some answers for you. This video will also serve as sort of like a guiding principle for me of what to make content moving forward. So we'll get to that in a sec. Let's get started. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm John Bear and I make content about how to make videos and generally more about like the camera gear and professional side of things. So if that's something you're into, then hit that subscribe button right down there. The first thing to make content about online is what you know. Take a moment and think about all the things that you're interested in. Is it video games? Is it Dungeons and Dragons? Is it sports? Whatever it is, chances are you are very enthusiastic about it and there's something you know about it that most people don't know, and there's probably tons of people that are interested to learn more about it. So the most natural thing to make videos about is about stuff that you know. So you can use YouTube as sort of like a catalyst to embellish interests that you already have and grow them more and even make them profitable. So for example, if you're interested in, I happen to have this on my desk, so I was painting some minifigures here, and while I was painting these, I went on YouTube to find tutorials about how to paint minifigures. And I ended up going down this deep rabbit hole of just all these different YouTubers that are making content only about how to paint minifigures. It's nuts. So whatever interest you have, there is a huge rabbit hole associated with that interest, and you can niche things down even more. So to take an example of myself, I make videos about camera gear and stuff, but I make videos about two specific cameras, the Blackmagic Pocket 4K and the GH5, the Lumix GH5. So my niche is kind of like cameras, and then it goes one step down to the Micro Four Thirds cameras, the Blackmagic and the Lumix GH5. And then for some videos, I go even further down the niche. I go to like the specific lens combination that I use with these cameras. So that's a little YouTube hint right there. When you're making videos, the more specific and the more sort of like niched down you are, the more likely people are to find your videos. So for example, my most popular videos are about whenever I talk about a specific lens combination with a specific camera. So people will search for these and try to find reviews or answers or recommendations about this specific combination. So that's the first category to make content about. It is what you know, and always make sure you go a little bit down below the surface. Get more technical, get more specific, go niche down. Whoa, my hair light just died. Alright, so the second category of things to make content about is what you are learning. Just be honest with your audience, like you don't know everything, but if you share what you're learning right now, it can become very engaging for both you and them to learn about this content. I personally believe that some of the best teachers tend to be the ones that are just one step ahead. And it creates this awesome dynamic between you and the audience of like what we are learning together. It's like a dynamic conversation of, oh, I learned this thing, and then some comment might say, oh, but you should check out this thing, and then you research that and maybe you come back with a new video to talk about. So a lot of the times you can even ask your audience, what do you want to see videos about? I do this all the time. So what I'm trying to get good at right now is sales, specifically selling videos to businesses and trying to figure out how to communicate the benefits of video to businesses. And that's something that I want to make videos about as well. But I'm not an expert right now, but as I'm learning more and I have some success stories under my belt, this is going to be something that I talk about on my YouTube channel. So it's about bringing your audience along for the ride. Which brings me to category number 3 of what to make content about, and that is what you are doing. When you're making content about what you are doing right now, it's more sort of like in real time. You know, you might be vlogging about something you're doing right now and then share it. So for example, if I'm going out and filming on a shoot, I might vlog that and talk about it in a video shortly after. I did that very recently when I went to the church to film Afstider for their winter holiday concert. The whole day I was just vlogging with my phone, and then I just posted that video on YouTube. So that was sort of like me sharing what I'm doing. So that's something you can do as well. Is this how it feels? Took me so long to see. fourth category of what to make content about is where you are going. Like, you can talk about your goals or where you want to get to, and then your plan of how to get there. Like, for example, sometimes I start my videos by saying that I'm John Bear and I'm on a journey to become a master videographer. It might sound corny, but that's my goal. That's the end point that I'm heading towards, and I'm inviting my audience to come along on that ride. So right now, I've determined that learning sales is the next step in my journey, and learning to sell video better to businesses. And in a sort of meta way, this video right here, I'm talking to you guys right now about where I'm going. So, you know, that's the fourth category. Talk about where you are going. And then the fifth and final category of what to make content about is make content for yourself. For example, if you go over to my Twitter account, all of these tweets tend to be sort of ideas or lessons that I've learned on my way to become a better salesman. And these tweets are kind of just for me, that I can reference them in the future. I use my Twitter as almost like a little scrapbook of ideas. And honestly, YouTube is the same for me. I'll talk about stuff that I've learned on my path, and it's more like content that I make for myself so I can learn the principles better. So in the end, you're making content for yourself. And pro tip, when you're making content for yourself, you won't burn out because you're not relying on other people to validate you. You're making the content because you enjoy it. You make it for yourself. You make it for either the memories or for the learning process. Creating content online is a catalyst for your own personal growth, if that makes sense. I mean, you can go on my YouTube right now and you can check out my videos that I've made in the past, and you can see that I've grown a lot since then. Like, I'm very amateur when I started out, and that's cool and that's fine. That's basically something for me to refer back to remind myself of where I started. So when you're making content for yourself, almost think about it as a documenting of your life, in a way. The point is, once you adopt this mindset that the content you create is for yourself, then you will never run out of energy because you're not relying on external validation. You will stop counting the views, you'll stop counting the subscribers, because what matters is that you got the video done. That's all that matters. Easy peasy. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I hope my ramblings have become very valuable for you. I hope my thoughts about what to make content about resonated with you. If they didn't, then let me know down in the comments, because, you know, obviously I don't have all the answers, and there might be some practical ideas that I didn't have that maybe you have. I'm John Bear, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.